Hey guys, got an interesting one for you. This is a beer review from my Easter box, but it's also part of this month's Beer 52 box. But unfortunately, I left the magazine downstairs. But based on recent form, there won't be anything in the magazine about this particular beer. So I've done a bit of research and it's really, really interesting. So we're looking at a Slovenian brewery, um, which is called the Clef Brewery, and we will talk about that in a minute. But we've got this beer called Rock Me Amadeus. It's a double IPA, packed with tropical hops, smooth malt balance, perfect for hop lovers. But if you see clef, and this is a treble clef, that's where the music comes in. And apparently, the guy that owns this brewery is a real music lover. So he does lots of music events and festivals kind of at the brewery. Um, where is it? Yeah, so this was actually brewed at the Garden Brewery in Croatia, but the main brewery, there we go, is actually in Slovenia. It is a double IPA at 7.5%. You know how we roll. And I don't know if we can see, I think the recipe is in a foreign language, but from what I can understand, we've got wheat and oats in here, and obviously pale malt. But the really interesting thing is the hops in here. So it's a double IPA, so it's all about the hops. But the hops in here, we've got Citra and Talus. They're kind of the basey type hops. But we have Styrian Dragon hops, which is a new hop, part of the Slovenian hop program. So it's all about Slovenia, this place. Um, yeah, absolutely rocking. So we've got a new style hop, and then we've got Citra. We know what Citra does. Talus, yeah, we know what Talus does too. So this is going to be really, really interesting. But 7.5% deeper at the weekend. You know how we roll. We rock and roll. Right, this has been in the fridge for a few days, so it is proper chilled down. And as it's a DIPA, it's probably going to be hazy, I would imagine. So we'll see what we get when we rock this one. Rock out with the cock out. Um, of course, dear viewer, you don't usually see my lower half, but I like rocking out with my cock out. It wouldn't be any other way, would it, dear viewer? Right. Let us do a thing here. Rock me, Amadeus, dunk dunk hoo. And then bring that up a bit, and that one out, and then a couple of different versions for me today. Nice. We're getting nice amount of citrus, a little bit of grassy notes there too. A little of that kind of melon type thing that I usually get from Talus on the nose. Color is absolutely fantastic. It is not a super haze. You can definitely see movement through that. It is not a clear beer, put it that way. But that is not too bad. Headwise, half a finger, fast disappearing white head. Because it's got oats and wheat in it, that will probably be why it's a little bit cloudy. But it's not like super, super like cumulonimbus type clouds. It's just hazy clouds, which is quite cool. It's going to be interesting because this smells quite sweet, but I've heard that the Styrian Dragon gives real grapefruity, like punchy kind of flavors. Um, Cheers and beers. Let's dive in. By the way, dear viewer, please do all the things that YouTube likes. Subscribe to the channel, at least think about doing that. Why not click like to the video? Because I'm sure you're entertained. If you are, make sure you're clicking like. And why not join me down below? Do you know about Styrian Dragon hops? Be interesting to see if you have. Cheers and beers. Interesting. This, at least hop-wise, is a lot mellower than I thought. As it was going down, I was actually thinking it's quite sweet, and I was thinking, oh, this is like a kind of one of those famous barley kind of water drinks that you get at the supermarket and add water to. It's quite thin in the mouthfeel. For something that's meant to be 7.5% alcohol, my God, that is hidden very, very well. This is like it tastes like one of those session IPAs. Um, dare they say crushable? I hate this kind of nonsense language, and I am a very nonsense language speaker, as you well know, dear viewer. Um, but yeah, this beer is really surprisingly quaffable, very easy to drink. Okay, now very, very late down the line, I'm getting kind of a bit of alcohol hit. It's more on the yeah, the exhalation of breath, which is where you know you've either been on the sauce for a long time or you've been drinking something quite strong. For me, it doesn't usually happen this time of year. It's usually the autumn and winter when you step outside the pub into the cool air and you go, and this huge vapor, alcoholic vapor comes out. And that usually tells me there's going to be an interesting walk home. Ooh, reasonable carbonation there, but yeah, it's like barley water. Really, really interesting. Um, the melon from the talus is definitely there too. There is a bit of greenery. I think the greenery from the Citra comes up front, but I'm pretty sure they've used the Citra as the bittering hop here because it's not very prominent, but a little bit of kind of green grass there too. Um, but this is all about the kind of, I would say it's kind of halfway between orange and grapefruit. Sits in that place. Really nice, actually. Sits somewhere very similar. Pardon me, dear viewer. Sits somewhere very similar to Mandarina Bavaria, kind of. Um, so I think this hop is kind of a little bit interchangeable with that. But I'm just, yeah, it's really surprised that it is not more hoppy, not more in your face. But hey, that probably says more about me than it does about and my expectations than the actual beer itself. Yeah, nice hop, sweet profile, really up front, tiny bit of that grassiness there. And then as the flavor kind of develops, maybe because the oats and the wheat are in there, it's kind of smoothed everything out. It's not a creamy beer by any means, but it's kind of smoothed that taste out. Um, and then yeah, at the end you're getting more of that kind of melon type thing going on. This is really nice. I am very much enjoying this. You could have, yeah, you can have a couple of pints of this, not even know how strong it was. I've made that mistake before. People have come up to me and gone, "Dude, you're drinking pints of that beer?" Exclamation mark. And I'm being like, "Man, it tastes all right." And then when I look, it's like 6.5, 7%. I'm like, "Oh, okay, yep, that's why." But that happens sometimes. It's just so smooth. Very, very, very nice beer. I am enjoying this. Oh my God, let me just triple check again. Clef beer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's down down there at the bottom, 7.5% ABV. Don't drive, of course not. Make sure you're over 18. Avoid the vegan pregnant ladies, especially when they've got aluminium with them. My God, it could all end in tears. Oh. And I don't think I've drunk a really strong beer that quick for ages. Look at that line there. Obviously, the foam retention's pretty good. Another thick line there, another one there, and boom, down into sort of hop um, purgatory down the bottom. That's ridiculous. Lots of lines and weird kind of psychedelic totems on the side of my glass for those of you that used to enjoy Hop Watch, or Head Watch, I should say. Hedwig. Haven't been doing it for a while. As you know, I haven't been feeling that well lately. Had some operations, had some surgery. Ooh, wow, quite a carbonated beer. It doesn't look that fizzy, but yeah, kind of definitely um, going that way in my tummy. Yeah, so I'm kind of taking it easy. He says just necking a 7.5% beer. Um, but yeah, I was hitting the beers quite hard this year, to be perfectly honest. Um, and maybe it's time to slow down a little bit. But I'll still be doing reviews and stuff. Don't worry, dear viewer. I just won't be drinking 3 or 4 beers every day for months on end. Um, well, at least we'll see. We'll see what my surgeon says, and yeah, we'll see if things are okay. I feel okay, but I'm just really tired. Um, anyway, don't worry about me, dear viewer. Please take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Why not drink some strong beers? Because you know it makes sense. And Uncle Jonah will return with another beer review, and that'll come up real soon.